What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we are here with the Revolutionary Army GARP Challenge set. So this is a recording and the actual VOD from my live stream the day after the 14.1 update went live. So in this video, we're going through every single type combination that you need in order to get all the missions completed for the Revolutionary Army GARP challenges, and also with Revolutionary Army there is the Rev Army number 2 challenge, which we will be also showcasing in this video today. So looking at our first team, it is going to be using Magma Kaido as the friend captain. I feel like most people will opt to do this because Magma Kaido pretty much carries through most of this due to his end of turn damage and having really strong mechanics built in his kit. And also with this team, we've got a couple of key units here, like Vivi Rebecca, which is really nice for generating chain lock every turn. Strength dual units aren't really the greatest for generating buffs every single turn, unlike, you know, like Zoro Sanji, Roger Whitebeard, Shanks crew, those units that can generate really good damage every single turn. I did kind of forget to have a bind removal effect on the second last stage here, but not really that big of a deal. We will still able to output quite a lot of damage to get through this one very comfortably. Looking at our second team, which is going to be our DEX focus team. So because I wanted to use V1 Kaido as my friend captain for this one, I opted to use GARP. GARP is kind of interesting because he's a Rumble Rare Recruit legend, so not too many people are going to get access to him. Of course, it's really easy content, so you don't specifically need GARP. But the thing about this unit is the fact that he does resist bind as a captain, and he's a powerhouse unit, so we can just run kind of like a powerhouse-ish kind of team. We do have Zoro Sanji on here, despite the fact that he's not really boosted by the captains. The good thing about Zoro Sanji is that switch effect. Being able to generate that boost every single turn is monumental. It does so much damage. It's just phenomenal. So despite the fact that they're not even boosted, they're still a Dex unit, so they still will count for the challenge. They're just phenomenal to use. We do have Green Bull, we've got Lucci, we've got Versus Blackbeard. Like, we're just running a bunch of different units that just work. They just work. They just do so much damage. And, you know, GARP is mainly just here to remove the bind, and that's basically it. Kaido helps carry through a lot of the other mini bosses along the way. And then on the final stage, because we have a DEX team, we don't have to worry about color affinity at all, despite the type disadvantage boss. Looking at our next team, which is going to be versus the Revolutionary Army 1 with our Quick Squad. So this is a bit of a weird team. We are going to use Zoro Sanji once again because they're absolutely busted, but we're going to be using Yamato as the captain this time around, another quick unit that is able to remove bind in the captain. And with Zoro Sanji's switch effect, we can generate those tandem slots every single turn. And also another thing is with Law and Luffy dual unit, because it is technically a Luffy character, we can actually generate the friend Captain Shanks' super tandem every single turn by generating that tandem slot. So that's absolutely wicked that we can actually do that. If you do have a, you know, Shanks with a really high level of super tandem, getting such a high attack boost every single turn is really strong, because if you account for that super tandem and the switch effect of Zoro and Sanji every single turn, you're just getting so much damage for free for doing nothing, and you're also generating some matching slots as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, this is a really easy team to go through and get this done, actually. Like, there was really no issues at all. Revolutionary Army is probably the easiest of all of the GARP challenges, so I feel like if there are any missions that you guys want to get completed, this is definitely the easiest one to do. Moving on to our PSY team this time, and we are going to be using Momonosuke as our main captain, not only because of his end of turn damage mechanics, but also his captain effect does resist bind, so we don't have to worry about the bind that occurs on the second last stage with Karasu and Lindbergh. And then for the rest of the squad, we do have Roger and Whitebeard to generate a 1.5 times attack and all boost for us, which is great, fantastic effect. We do have 2 Boa Hancock legends on the team as well, with the max level limit break, 6-star plus. Main reason for that is because she provides such a significant chain boost for many turns. So what we can do is activate like 1 Boa Hancock super early, and then we can activate like another one later on, so we can just have consistent massive chain boosts. And if you stack that with the other effect of Roger and Yuge generating, you know, all of the effects from them, getting the attack and all boost, and having that massive chain boost for so many turns, it is really nice. Another thing is that when we activate the Boa Hancock special, it does make Wano Law's chain boundary last for 1 additional turn, which is just another really nice component that this team kind of melds together really well. And then finally we have our INT team, which is just going to be a cerebral focused team with Vegapunk as our captain, because he does resist bind and paralysis as a captain. And as for our friend captain, we do have Corazon and Law, because they're actually a really solid unit to use as a captain. They do resist despair as a captain, not that you're going to have to worry about that all that much in this content, but they've got a great special, they've got a great super class effect as well. And as for the rest of the squad, we do have 2 Vegapunk characters in Lilith and Pythagoras. Both units just are able to proc the super class or the super type of Vegapunk himself, but it's not really that important at all. We do have Queen for generating some matching slots and granting color affinity if we need it, and also we do have Shanks to generate a full board of matching slots and a chain boost and an attack boost. Shanks is a really good addition to the squad, and of course we can just use the super class really early for Law and Corazon. It doesn't really provide any utility for us in this content, but it does give our cerebral units additional statistics that we can carry throughout the entire duration of this content, which is really strong. We can also generate that super tandem because we do have the units available to proc the super tandem of Vegapunk, albeit not very important. And now finally we can have a look at Revolutionary Army number 2. So we're not really using any modern characters. These characters that we are using on the squad are pretty old by this point. Like obviously the newest character on the team is actually the friend captain, being Whitebeard versus Blackbeard. So not really that new. But you know, we had the stream going on, and Karissa did suggest, you know, we should go ahead and use V2 Katakuri as our captain for the Revolutionary Army number 2 content. I thought that was a great idea. We did have an initial run through that we did. We were unable to clear it, and what we were doing beforehand is, instead of having the Jinbei on the team, we do have the most recent Kizuna Clash Moria on the squad instead. But we really needed a quick unit on the team that was boosted by both captains, that was somehow able to activate an end of turn damaging effect. And the only unit that really fit that role was this Jinbei. This Jinbei is an old treasure map rare recruit, and the only role he fulfills on this team is, number 1, being a quick unit and being boosted by both captains, but also he does have a special that does do end of turn damage, and that's important for when we get to the Morlae stage. Morlae has like a bunch of defensive effects, and he has resilience. The support that we have on Katakuri is really good in that Strength Perispero to remove 2 turns of defense and threshold when the enemy activates it. Another thing that I kind of overlooked is when we activate the Blackbeard special on this stage with Koala and Sabo, they react to orb boosts, which means that the beneficial effects on our crew will actually be removed. It does kind of suck. It means we don't get an orb boost on this stage that we could have carried into the next room, but at the end of the day, it didn't really matter that much. When we activate the special ability of Jinbei on the Morlae stage, we also have Cavendish to grant a 1.5 attack and orb boost to himself, and we also have the Versus effect of Blackbeard, which generates a color affinity boost as well, which just gives us enough damage for Jinbei to do the heavy hit on one Morley, get him down to 1 HP, and then let that end of turn damage do the heavy lifting to kill through that resilience. We do have normal attacks only, so big end of turn damaging effects are not really going to count here. Katakuri special, for example, you could kill him with that special, but because of normal attacks only, it's not really a thing that is going to work on that stage. This Kaku not being boosted by both captains does kind of suck, but he does have such a good special. We can use it on the Hack stage, we can use it on the Bello Betty stage, because he's got such a low cooldown to remove paralysis, then also attack down. And then Rayleigh is phenomenal in this content. Most teams in this content are going to use Rayleigh, because you can use him on multiple separate stages, and he just gets around a lot of different gimmicks. And then Lindbergh, kind of annoying, we have to take 2 turns to kill him, not that big of a deal. We do have the Hyogoro support attached to Luffy, so when we use it on Karasu, it removes the threshold and we can get through. And then on the final stage, we just have a bunch of damage from the orb boost from Luffy carried over multiple stages. We have Katakuri's attack boost, and the Versus effect will activate once again. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.